Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, I'm going to talk about one of my biggest regrets in life, which is focusing on learning as a young adult, right? And I think one of the things that ruined me is that I just kind of succumbed to the peer pressure that when I was a young man, everybody was like, oh, you're not supposed to remember what you learned in college. And I thought that was so weird. Do they still do that nowadays? I feel like they still do, but again, I'm out of it. But remember, people were like, "Well, it doesn't really matter what you learn here." And it's like, dude, that's 4 years of my life. That's a long time to just kind of waste it and do nothing. And what's really crazy is that the previous 4 years in high school, everybody's like, "I have to go to a certain college. Oh my goodness, it's gonna determine my future. Oh, it's learning is so important." And then once they go to college, it's like, who cares, right? Which is kind of ba I think that happens because of bad social policy, and nobody knows how to raise children or teach students or knows what the f they're doing, right? So that's unfortunate, but that's the way that reality, the way that society is. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about how to learn, and I probably will do a live stream on this, like learning 101. And if you didn't know, we do live streams exclusively for YouTube channel members, 99 cents per month. So you get access to the live streams, and also you get access to little cute emojis people have been posting. I've been seeing them. They're really cool, right? Hired Summer Fiber to do them, and I really like them whenever I see one of our YouTube channel members posting them. But anyways, I'm going to talk about the easiest way to learn, that most people will ignore. And this is going to be really simple, but you kind of have to go against the grain, right? And this is very obvious because you probably knew this from childhood, right? So if you just, before we get into that, but let's just kind of do a quick review here. So I did a Google search on nobody remember anything that they learned in college, and then the AI is saying, yeah, it's not entirely accurate, but it is true because AI, the college is the establishment, right? And usually Google and the internet nowadays defend the establishment, unfortunately. If you were alive back in the day, like in the early 2000s, there were so many predictions about how like Google was going to overtake college and we don't need college anymore because of the internet. And they've all become now the singularity complex, industrial complex, government, tech. And I'm not going to go too much into it, but I just remember a time when back in the day, people were like, college isn't needed anymore because we need Google. And now Google defends college because Google's going to tell you what to think, right? But all right, so it says it is true that most people forget a significant portion of specific details from the college courses over time, right? However, people usually retain important concepts, critical skills, and broader knowledge. And I honestly don't think that's true because most of my education came at a much later stage in life, right? And then, our little threads here about anyone else here not remember anything that they learned. Scroll down, you'll forget most of what you learned. I'm panicked that I can't learn or remember anything in college. What I do, my parents absolutely remember absolutely nothing, learned nothing, or remember absolutely nothing what they learned in college. And how do you remember everything from your major? Why most of you forget for your college memories. And I'll tell you why most people forget what they learned. And this is just a simple story of the tortoise. Remember this one? The tortoise versus the hare, right? The tortoise and the hare. And let me get rid of the highlight, right? So, what does the tortoise do, right? Incremental gains. So, just studying. So, I'm going to tell you to kind of give you like um, an analogy. And then what does the hare do? Which is it's big short-term gains, right? So, incremental long-term gains versus big short-term gains. And so think about it in terms of exercise, right? I'm just going to give an easy exercise analogy. So what if you had never done exercise before? You're training a new exercise client, okay? That's what you're doing. New exercise client, and you're like, "Hey, I got a great idea." Okay? I got a great idea. If you want to be healthy, you should run a marathon tomorrow. Run a marathon tomorrow, right? And I think anybody with common sense would know, like, especially to a person who's not healthy, that if that's what you prescribe, that person is probably going to be dead tomorrow. You know what I mean? But that's what people do when it comes to studying. They're the hare, right? Like, you don't want to be the hare. I mean, this is really obvious, but people just ignore this, right? You want to be the tortoise, right? Let's go ahead and be the tortoise. And so what you do, what I would prescribe, and I'm saying that you got to do this, is maybe run a mile or even a half a mile a day, right? So do you run a marathon in one day, right? And how many miles is a marathon? Like 21, 24? Actually, let me just do this right here. How many miles in a marathon? Okay. Why did I put marathon? 26. Okay. So 26 miles, right? So we're going to run 26 miles in one day. Okay. Remember, that's the hare. Or we run a mile for 26 days, right? And the reason why I talk about this is because I see too many people trying to be the hare when it comes to learning. Too many people. They're just running a marathon. And think about this when it comes to, let's say, studying in college, high school, right? I've never met a person, and I think I'm the only person like this, who just studies a little bit every single day. You ever notice that I don't try to make like these exquisite videos when it comes to YouTube? I'm just making one video that's about 15 minutes and maybe one to three times a day and just uploading over and over again in an incremental way, right? That's how I'm growing my YouTube channel. I'm not trying to create a 100 hour a week production that's going to create a viral video for me and then do that over and over again because that's like running a marathon over and over again. And if you didn't know, YouTube, one of the biggest problems that YouTubers have is that they burn out, right? Because they keep trying to run marathons over and over again. And if you want to succeed in anything, whether it's studying or including YouTube, just run a mile for 26 days, right? You want the incremental long term gains. You don't want the big short term gains, right? Big short term gains are bad. That's how people burn out. Now, if you want to know the academic version of this, okay, so I'm going to just kind of show you how that works when it comes to studying. Study 1 hour a day for 26 days. And then instead of, you know, doing what most people do, because what do most people do when it comes to studying? Pulling an all-nighter, right? Instead of pulling an all-nighter, what are we gonna do? Well, actually, what is an all-nighter? Maybe we'll say it's 24 um, hours of studying in one day without any sleep, right? Well, maybe we'll just change it to 24. So when it comes to studying, what do you think is more effective? Study 1 hour per day for 24 days or pulling an all-nighter 24 hours in one day, right? So we got to think about that, okay? Now, most people, like, think about your average college student, they just do this. And I don't know a single person who just kind of takes it easy and does this and actually remembers what they learned. Because, folks, it's really important to remember what you learn. And most people don't do that because they're always like, I watched a 15-minute YouTube video and I don't understand. It's like, bro, you gotta stop thinking this way. You gotta stop thinking like the hare. You gotta be the tortoise. I'm the tortoise. I just make slow incremental gains every single day. And that's what you got to do too. Or else you're going to be like the rest of society, right? What's the rest of society? Panicked that I can't learn or remember anything in college. Nobody remembers anything. Is it normal for you to forget what you learned? Apparently, college is the ultimate holy grail of learning, but everybody's typing on Google or in a forum. I don't remember anything that I learned, right? So that's unfortunate that's how society is. And as I said before, a lot of it is just piss poor social policy. Okay. So, easiest way to learn, just do small incremental gains every single day and don't do anything in big spurts, right? Never pull all nighters. Okay. So easy. All right. All right. This is Korean Lifetime Mentorship. Have a great day. And we'll see you on the next video.